Okay, I think we're going. Pretty sure that's on. Hopefully, again, still haven't figured my stuff out. Hopefully, the messages go through the thing I'm expecting it to again. Hello, everybody. How's it going? I hope you can hear me. Should probably put that closer. Mhm. Okay, where are my messages? Come on, chat. Okay, not seeing any chat in the app yet. Let me see. Um, Hello, Beatrice. Hello, how's it going? Okay, I think it's working. Okay, perfect. There we go. They're all coming in now. Okay, hello. How's everybody doing? Do you have any questions for me around yeah, I wrote data science analytics. I'm assuming you know who I am. If Please introduce me to yourself if you don't know who I am and this is your first time seeing me. But I assume for most of you, I'm talking about anything data science basically. So any questions you might have around that, feel free. And yeah, okay, perfect. So hello everybody. I appreciate the introductions. So you want to venture in machine learning and artificial intelligence, how to start. So just to clarify the difference, not that it really matters too much, just to make sure that you know, artificial intelligence basically means like powerful, smart machines. And we've found that in the last, like, especially the last 9, 10 years, and a little bit more than that, that machine learning has really made powerful machines. So it's not necessarily, you can do artificial intelligence without machine learning, although it's kind of dead at this point. It's become pretty synonymous. Hello, everybody. And so, honestly, artificial intelligence at this point is extremely associated with just statistics. So, machine learning is, the statistical learning is a complete synonym for machine learning. So, that's why there's a very famous book called Introduction to Statistical Learning, which is, a really great read. Most people could probably, as long as you have maybe some just general math awareness, you could probably pick that up and fight through it. It does start from the very beginning and go through all the common stuff, not common stuff, all of the really fundamental stuff like the bias variance trade-off and how to train models, and that goes all the way into the complicated techniques. Okay, so that book was called The Introduction to Statistical Learning. That's a good one to pick up. Um, uh, Many of you may have seen my or much more Andrew Ng's exciting announcement, which is that he is recreating his very famous machine learning course in Python. It's going to come out, I think it was June, maybe it was July, I forget, but this summer anyway. So if you're kind of busy for the next month or two, I would definitely, and you want to learn machine learning, I would definitely hold off and then go and take that new course of his because it's going to be awesome. Like honestly, I was still recommending his old one for the last like, forever. Like I took it, not even when it came out, I took it several years after it came out. It was still recommended to me as one of the best resources when I didn't really know what I was doing. I loved that. It worked really well, and I still recommend that to people, even though there's so many other options. If you want to do the book way, I would definitely do an introduction to statistical learning. And if you want to do the video way, which I think is a lot more approachable, and it means you're on your computer, so you can kind of Google and look at various things at the same time. Um, then the video or Coursera technique is really good. And I would honestly just wait for Engineering's machine learning course. If you're busy, if you want to get started right now, maybe pick up that book, maybe look at the TensorFlow tutorials in Keras and see what they're try to understand the code a little, not necessarily the actual Python code, but try and see what people are the sort of models that people are making is a good way to start. Okay, lots of messages. I love to see that. So, any resources for statistics? I did just say the statistical learning book. That is basically statistics for machine learning. It's statistics for training models, and that's what I recommend as the most kind of. important thing in my mind, at least for my audience, for statistics. For base statistics, there's a lot of different things. Every now and then, I still go back to the Khan Academy videos where he's just kind of drawing stuff out. Like someone can tell me, I always, I don't know why I always forget this. Not the law of large numbers, the other one. Maybe someone can write that for me. I occasionally look at Khan Academy for that type of stuff. A university education or college education is a really good way to found yourself in statistics. For those of you that may have seen my announcement, I took my last exam a few days ago in statistics, so I should be done school now. So that's exciting for me. Yeah, if you want to get good at statistics, like really good, then a traditional education is still a pretty good way to go. But of course, you definitely don't have to. Like they're often referring to other textbooks as well. I always forget. I need to just look it up and remember. But there's some really common stats books out there, and the videos. Definitely look at Josh Starmer's videos as well. He's really good for machine learning stuff as well. His videos are fantastic, so I would recommend him for sure. Josh Starmer with StatQuest. If you haven't heard of that, I bet many of you have because he has a lot more subscribers than I do. Okay. All right. Where was I? Hello, hello, hello. Lots of hellos. Hey, Ron. Okay. Pursuing a Bachelor of Engineering at Automation and Robotics. How to use artificial intelligence in robotics. Okay. So firstly, I wouldn't really start with machine learning if you're doing robotics, unless like unless you're pretty advanced with that already, which if you're asking the question, I'm guessing you're not. Not insulting. I'm just stating. If you are kind of an amateur or rookie at that type of thing, and I'm a complete rookie at robotics, I would recommend not doing it with machine learning quite yet. The difference meaning machine learning adds a probabilistic view. It's like thinking about random variables and what I should do in different situations based off of probabilities. For robotics, I would probably, I'm sure someone could recommend over me, but I would probably recommend starting with more deterministic things. Of course, nothing's actually deterministic, but that's the point of statistics. But you can treat it in a more deterministic way. Deterministic meaning you're going to do the same thing every time. So I would start out with, robotics, like maybe mount a camera on there, and then based off of where the proximity of the walls, or like if there's a presence of a wall, or maybe some colors, some sort of detection with cameras to do specific things. I think that's a good idea, and then you can slowly start adding more and more kind of interesting things in which you might want to use machine learning for, like. I don't know, you see a traffic light and you detect that, which you can do that through machine learning. You can also not do that through machine learning. I'm kind of stuck at the moment, but that's the idea for sure. I would slowly ramp up to more complicated techniques. Woohoo, thank you. Do you have a full Python and SQL training course? I have oh God, like one of the first videos that I ever posted. I'm looking to revamp that. If you can suffer through very poor audio quality, I can't even try to recommend that video. I'm not. I have one at the very beginning. If you scroll all the way back to the beginning of my videos, I talk about relational databases. I do have something much more up to date, which is an SQL. It doesn't really go too much into the whole theory behind relational databases. It does give kind of the tidbits when you need that. In my what's it called, like Greg's data science pathway or whatever, it's one of my playlists. I have SQL as, I believe, the very first video. And I'm actually looking to redo that again because I don't really, there's a lot of stuff that I don't completely love, to be honest. But the full Python course, I have a lot of Python materials. I have a Python playlist that has 3 whole modules to get you up to, I believe I stopped at functions, and the next thing I was going to do was classes. But it gets you all the way up to functions. And honestly, you don't actually need to know that much about classes to do a lot of machine learning based stuff. You just kind of read the documentation. Like once you understand base Python and at least pretty comfortable with functions and all the various techniques, other than classes in object-oriented programming. You can honestly just look at the documentation for like scikit-learn, NumPy, that type of thing, and get going with the machine learning if that's something that you want to do. I'm developing a cloud system cloud-based with Django and PostgreSQL. Could I recommend a good Django literature? The docs are freaking amazing. Like I think Django has the most like amazing documentation I've ever seen. If you've already if you've already kind of progressed and you're trying to make it much more complicated and better, honestly, I'm not the right person to ask. I just know if you happen to be a beginner, just honestly do all of their stuff with the documentation, or if you're really in a rush, maybe do the things that you have to get going. But it's really really good. The best course for math behind ML and computer vision. For computer vision, I definitely would recommend Andrew Ng's deep learning course. It doesn't, you can actually, you don't technically have to do the other courses that don't directly apply to computer vision, like the natural language processing. But in the Andrew Ng deep learning specialization, which by the way is prerequisites, I'd probably do the machine learning course before. I would probably do maybe the mathematics for machine learning by Imperial College London would be helpful. And any sort of mathematical experience would just make your life a little bit easier for that. But to work your way up to computer vision and to actually learn it, it's course 4, I believe, of the deep learning specialization, convolutional neural networks, is right now that tied with transformers. Transformers are taking that over. Obviously, it's not that much different, to be honest. It is a little bit different. Um, but yeah, I would definitely learn those things. Super stoked for that course. Me too. Me too. Andring's, yes, Andring's specialization, the new one coming out, and he also has an old one. Please suggest books for self-study on machine learning. 100% Introduction to Statistical Learning. I would maybe suggest the 100-page machine learning book. There's that one that honestly people like a little bit more than I do, but it's still good. And I think someone told me that there was a third edition coming out. Was the, I always forget the name for it. It's the one with like the gecko on it and TensorFlow and Keras and all those different frameworks. Hey, good to, yeah, good to be live. Central limit. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate that. Central limit theorem. I knew someone would have it. Thank you, Ezra. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You have a bachelor's in software engineering. Can you do master's in data science? 100%. Yeah, I don't really see I don't really see any problems. Any advice about it? I mean, master's cares about marks. So if you said you already have a bachelor's, then I mean, apply. I don't see really what else you can do. I think it'll be fine. What is the difference between machine learning and AI? Okay, I'm wondering if this question came before 5 minutes ago. Yeah, so I did actually answer that at the very, very beginning, but that's okay. I think machine learning is one way to create an AI, but I am sure if I'm correct. So yeah, basically that's right. Like machine learning is one way to create artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means smart machines. How do you make smart machines? Well, we found in the last 10 years or so that machine learning, thinking from a probabilistic view, especially deep learning, which means often like thousands, millions, billions of parameters. Parameters meaning just numbers that you're trying to tune, numbers you're trying to learn to fit the data and fit the pattern. Then yeah, we found deep learning is quite helpful for that. Best resource for learning Python from scratch. There's a lot of different ones. I do have a few modules that could be helpful. I put a lot of effort into those. The Python documentation is not amazing in my opinion. It's not bad. It would definitely be accurate and be good. I feel like there's better resources out there. How did I learn Python? I don't know. I feel like me personally, I just learned Python through just looking up all these different things on how to do it. I don't remember ever doing a course. I'm assuming that guy, what is it, Tech with Tim? I think he has a Python course. Maybe other people can help me out on that. I always forget because I didn't learn. Python's one of the few things where I learned it more so from just I just kept on doing stuff with it and finding more and more that people were using it and watching their code, reading what it was doing. Um, I just got better and better at it. But of course, there's courses out there. Um, Sorry about that. Okay, hello. You're a Python developer and want to learn machine learning? Okay, so perfect. If you already know Python, that's the language for sure. I would probably start with if you want to wait a month, Engineering's new machine learning course. If you want to get started right now, I'd probably take his machine learning course on Coursera, and the deep learning specialization is definitely a good place after that. Want to get started practicing with data science stuff? Perfect. I recently have completed SQL and Python. Great, that's awesome. Suraj, I think yeah, I feel like I talked to you recently in like the LinkedIn comments or something. I'm pretty sure I remember you. Um, yes. Okay. So you want to get started with data science. So a lot of people, and actually I made a post about it, I believe, just yesterday. Um, a lot of people, half the people associate data science of just like visualization and playing with data. And honestly, with Python and SQL, I'd say you're almost good to go for what some people think. In my opinion, I definitely recommend learning machine learning. And so that would be through the resources that I've talked about in the last couple minutes. I am currently in 10th class and I'm from India. Please suggest me some projects that I can do for practicing. Practicing what? Like data, what are you trying to learn? What are you trying to get better at? What job are you trying to get? What business are you trying to found? Just trying to ask some questions because it's kind of hard to say. Are data structures algorithms asked in scientist interviews? Yes and no. I have been in interviews. I have been in data science interviews where they do ask them. I have been in them where they don't ask them. I have seen people in both situations. I have seen people and myself occasionally get very hard questions. I've occasionally gotten, as I said, no questions. Usually, most of the time, as in if you apply to like a medium level job and not one of the like absolutely massive ones, you know the ones. Um, then usually it's kind of a between beginner and intermediate like lead code question. You can guess. Um, you might get nothing. You might actually get just something software based, but not actually a question, a traditional data structures and algorithms question like we know them. You might just get asked like object oriented programming tactics, um, just even Python or another coding syntax. Occasionally, I get asked those as well. I remember someone asked me like, "What can you store in a Python list?" By the way, you can store anything in a Python list. Um, and yeah, that's the yeah. So I hope that made sense. Basically, the intermediate to hard level problems, you generally don't find those unless you're in looking for the Fang companies or something like a step down from Fang, um, like just a small step down from Fang, like Airbnb or whatever, Uber should be in that class as well. They're so huge. Okay, a major question. I've been a huge hobbyist for years, had a lot before. Uh, the acronym is Massive Online Open Course, right? Yeah, so basically Coursera stuff. And then since studied machine learning voraciously, I think that's how that words. I'm liking this vocabulary. Now finishing a master's in computer science and data science, but not sure I can even find a job. I mean, you're just finishing, like you said, you're finishing a master's. Well, I mean, give yourself a chance before you start feeling down about yourself. Like you're not sure if you can find a job. You're not even done your master's yet. Like that's don't really feel too bad about yourself. You're doing a freaking awesome job. Um, but of course, if you think you need a portfolio, but you're not sure how to get started, I can help you with that. Um, well, if you honestly just start building stuff. So I feel like you're probably done with the sort of, as you said, MOOCs, like massive online courses, the Coursera stuff, the YouTube stuff. Just start building things. And if something's interesting to you, then just go ahead and do that. And there's no need to worry about it really. Uh, Honestly, my recommendation for this type of scenario is really to think about the things that you are passionate about, whether they are directly related to machine learning or data science or whatever, or not. For example, I really, really like some video games. And so, some people bring machine learning into that, some people don't. You most certainly could, if that was something that you were passionate about. If you were passionate about, I don't know, anything. Okay, just anything. Try and see how you can make a project around that, and that way you'll just want to do it, and you'll also seem a lot more genuine. Like interviewers really like you to sound genuine and not just like repeating it what everybody else does or copying what everybody else does. If you can go and passionately talk about why you applied machine learning to this weird thing that nobody's heard of because you just happen to like it more than most people, then I feel like that's great. Greetings from Mexico. Hello. I'm facing big challenges learning coding, and I am very frustrated. Do you have any advice on how to start and proceed in machine learning field? Please note I am coming from health background. Okay. Um, so, so learn coding first, and that's totally fine. I don't say it, but a lot of the time, I basically assume that people already know how to code already based on the answers that I give. If you don't know or aren't decently strong in any of the common programming languages, then I would honestly just go ahead and do that first. How would you do that? There's books on every programming language. There's documentation on every language. There's YouTube videos on every language. There's courses like Python. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier. Yeah, the Python for Everybody specialization is a video that's a set of videos that's very, very friendly. You can find all of this stuff that I've mentioned in the video description or the live description, the LinkedIn description. I think if you are from LinkedIn, try going over to the YouTube side here and looking at the content I'm talking about. It would help. And yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, there's the Python for Everybody specialization on Coursera, which that could be a nice friendly introduction for someone who is struggling to learn how to code. To be honest, everyone struggles how to code. Like it's just not the easiest thing. Um, like it's hard to not just you have to jump into it. It's something really of course you people will say like it's like a recipe, and so you've seen recipes and algorithms before, and that's very true. But coding is generally very tricky, and getting yourself first step, just get absorbed with it. Like start watching the videos, do the friendly technique, and then just fight through the various stuff. And it's just a long battle of like, what is this if statement doing? What is this loop doing? Pick one programming language. I would definitely recommend Python because it's usually pretty friendly. It doesn't make you learn some of the really, really nitty gritty stuff like C and C++ would. Of course, when you're more advanced, learning some of those stuff better is very helpful. But yeah, that's my recommendation. Honestly, just don't get too down at yourself. Like if you're looking at other people that are like, oh, everybody knows how to code or whatever, that's true. No, it's not true. It's true that like everybody has fought through some annoying coding battles, and so don't get too down on yourself. What are the most fabulous projects you developed? So honestly, it was probably still back in 2017 when I made something called Biomon. It was just like a Pokemon application, and that proves my point of what I said about 3 minutes ago about how you'll try really hard on something if you just like it. To be honest, I played Pokemon pretty late last night. um, and so I made a clone of that where I basically made a clone that was an Android app. I believe it should be available on my GitHub. Is it? I did something weird. I might have taken it down at some point, but it's called Biomon if you ever wanted to look. Try and find that. Biomon, by the way. I want to perform face recognition and emotion detection in Python and OpenCV. Can I recommend the best possible approach to do that? Like any good algorithms. Honestly, just watch a tutorial. I don't actually have one out available right now. That's something that was in my mind to cover. I would probably recommend learning the fundamentals a little bit more if you don't already, instead of jumping right into just the code. You might want to spend the time to learn like the machine learning and deep learning specialization, and get more comfortable with everything. But absolutely, if you feel like now's the right time to just jump into that, or maybe I'm assuming wrong things and that maybe you've already done stuff, or I don't know. But I don't actually have a nice tutorial for that. I would watch one. Okay, can I give more information on BERT with expansibility? I actually don't know what expansibility is. How to use with Shapely, especially. Too advanced, too specialized for me, sorry. I absolutely love to see these types of questions where I can see you guys exploring some really interesting things. I do know what BERT is. I don't know what expansibility is. Uh, and yeah, to be honest, I'm not specialized in that field quite enough yet to answer that question. I want to start getting practice with data science stuff. I feel like I already answered that question. Best certifications in data science. You are from the YouTube side, so check the, and maybe I'm wrong, but I should have many different things down below in the description, which I do think most of the time they're the best certifications. The which is not out yet, but the new machine learning one by Andrew Ng will be the best certification when it comes out. It's just not there yet. If you wanted to get started right now, the IBM data science is pretty good. I don't think it earns quite a much. It doesn't really earn you that much respect. It definitely does help, but something more advanced like the machine learning specialized or machine learning course by Andrew Ng, the deep learning specialization. I've seen people get jobs just off of having the deep learning specialization, along with like a project or two to show that you know this stuff, and then some passion and somewhere specific. So that's why I recommend the deep learning specialization there, and that all that stuff is in the description if you wanted to take a look at that. Some say it's comparatively hard for computer science engineering B.Tech student. I think I read that right to get into data science. Uh, oh, okay. Um, well, you do to really learn the machine learning stuff. It is a statistics thing, like it literally is statistics, and so that's why computer science people will just have a different angle on it, more so about how like the runtime of the algorithms and just the code behind it and what it's doing, maybe a little bit less in the statistics and how it's working. Um, but I don't think that they're comparatively going to have much difficulty. No. What projects do I suggest to put in portfolio for data science and machine learning? Whatever you're passionate about, just go build stuff. That's my answer every time. Just pick some projects that you did related to ML. Um, to related to machine learning. Um, yeah. So also Pokemon related. I did something called genetic algorithms on Pokemon, trying to find the best teams. There was the my reinforcement learning thing, which I put a lot of effort into at some point. Discovered YouTube and kind of haven't touched it for a while, um, but that was really fun. Basically, I read the reinforcement learning book by Sutton and Bartow a few times. I freaking loved it, um, and yeah, I built what was it? I'm forgetting the word for it. PyPy, the like a library for it for learning machine learning. Or sorry, I'm struggling. Um, for learning reinforcement learning, basically. Okay. Um, best website to find good quality. I don't know what EEG is. I sorry, not the right person to ask. Is a graduate degree needed to enter this field? Um, no, not necessarily, but sometimes. But also at the same time, no. Um, some things might require that you learn data that you have a graduate degree, but you have to put air quotes around require because anything that someone says is required is not necessarily required. People pull strings and move around, um, all the time, basically. So a graduate degree may help, but I'm not sure. I don't know if that was a is that a donation? PHP. I feel like that looks like a donation, but I also don't know what PHP is. Is that a currency? Is PHP a currency? A Filipino. Oh, I am learning. A Philippine peso. Now I know the currency of the Philippines, if I'm saying that right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Daryl. That's very kind from you. Um, okay, in summary, can I explain what is an analytics engineer? I have literally never heard the words analytics and engineer together. Please don't make jokes with brain. Okay. So recently we see a lot of new upcoming computer vision models, and we see that there are various myriad parameters that are being used. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Yeah, Greg, we connected earlier. Yes, I thought so. Can I start live projects to start on? Not right now. No, I cannot do that. Sorry. Um, yeah, sorry, not at the moment. No. Hello from Brazil. Hello. Do I recommend the ML course by Engineering and Coursera? 100%. What you want to say? Okay, you guys are chatting. Hello from Ghana. Hello. Nope. What is the best path to become a machine learning engineer if you're a software engineer? Statistics, basically. So if you want to just start doing stuff, then you can honestly start doing stuff. Just looking at the documentation, following a couple machine learning tutorials, um, and just start building various things. If you want to really learn the math behind that, then you got to still go down the really statistics route, which is like something fundamental like the Introduction to Statistical Learning book, um, and learn all the math behind that, which I assume would be a lot easier after you've kind of struggled through all the software engineer stuff already. Uh, oh, good, you're enjoying the polls. I'm glad to hear that. What level data structures and algorithms question asked in the interview? The average is about a medium or an easy to medium, occasionally nothing. Uh, the For the bigger companies, it can be really just about anything. They usually do medium to hard. Sometimes they do easy as well. Um, but general, yeah, I would just say get fairly good at it. And then if you really feel like that's what's holding you back, then really do that whole lead code grind and get, really, really good at it if you think you need to. Yeah, you're very welcome. I appreciate the nice words. Would a graduate study on statistics help you with learning data science and ML? Um, uh, would it help you with learning it? I feel like you could probably learn it faster um, on your own. A graduate degree in statistics, I don't. It depends how much they go fundamental, because if you go like just into statistics in a research point of view, it may not go through all of the really fundamental stuff that I think is some of the most important pieces. Um, it definitely will help uh, employers recognize you and will help you. Like in general, will it help learning? Yes, of course. Is it the fastest way? Maybe, maybe not. It's a good technique though, for sure. If you think that's the right idea, then absolutely. Should you wait for the Andrewing updated machine learning course or start with the current one? Um, I feel like it's up to you. Like it'll be a lot better. Like 100%, the new one will be a lot better. Um, but I can't really say what the right call is for you. Would a graduate degree on statistics help you in what? Sorry, same thing. Best machine learning book, Introduction to Statistical Learning. Statistical learning is a synonym to machine learning. Don't get too bogged down by that. It's a really good book. I'm in data science, a data science trainee. Why is there a large gap between YouTube tutorials and real world project? Yeah, I mean that's life. Like we can't Google employees can't go make a video about what they're doing. um, it's And also from I've done YouTube for a while now, and I can tell you that to spend the amount of time it would take to actually properly film, edit, all that stuff, produce a video for a real world project, it's days or weeks. Like it might be days or weeks just to build it, let alone keep in mind that you're trying to explain everything properly. So that's just kind of life. And then from an intellectual property point of view, we can't say interesting things on YouTube. Like we kind of have to artificially make up stuff. What document advised me for understanding Bayesian learning, please? Um, I don't necessarily know if you need to. It depends. Um, there's a lot of books on it. I need to just remember the statistics books. I do have some statistics courses linked in the description, which think some of them talk about Bayesian learning. I honestly don't know. It's not my complete specialty. Is a degree in software engineering more valued than a degree in computer science? No. I would say no if you phrased it either way. Like either software engineering more than CS or CS more than software. Not really, honestly. For people thinking you need a master's degree, you might try something else. I'm just now finishing a master's in computer science and data science from a USA top 5 grad program in computer science. Here's what one of my classmates said to me, sharing my frustration. To be honest, this course has caused me to doubt not just getting a master's degree, but also my interest in CS in general. But I know that's just the burnout talking. I got my undergrad in CS and I've built a career out of it. The sheer amount of information thrown at you at this course, combined with the lack of support from the staff, makes things exhausting. So you're definitely not alone in struggling. 100%. Yeah, I can, although I just finished my undergrad. I can confirm from a similar view that that all makes sense to me. Please tell us, how do I motivate myself to learn new things? And do you remember concepts you've learned in data science? Do you use any memorization techniques? So basically, the best way to motivate yourself to learn new things is to be genuinely happy and interested in things. Back when I was learning the techniques, I just really wanted to learn about what these neural network things were. And it wasn't about a pathway. Like, I wasn't looking up any sort of pathway, the best way to do this. I'm like, no, I want to learn about neural networks. I am going to go do that. And that helped because, well, I was in, I just finished my statistics degree. So by that time, I had already taken like a linear algebra course or two. Nothing in statistics yet, although I was probably at the same time. Some calculus courses, 1, 2, or 3. And so that would have definitely helped because I kind of forced myself to do that already. But at the same time, it didn't really matter. I'd forced myself to go learn about neural networks because I wanted to. That's how I spent my evenings. And then nowadays, like, what do I do now? Well, I enjoy, teaching it. I like building up sort of a business, so to speak. More so just not really more about a business. It's more about just kind of connecting with you guys, and sharing the knowledge, I suppose. So in terms of memorization techniques, honestly, I do close my eyes actually a lot, and I sound like an idiot for saying that. But actually, I feel like a lot of people really just try to stare at things until it makes sense, which is fine. Sometimes you have to, and how can you, you can't learn it without looking at it. If you forget what it's saying, of course you have to look at it. But sometimes when I really need to remember something, or when I want to remember something, I'll just actually have my eyes closed for like 30 minutes straight, and think about how everything connects to each other, the algorithms from complete scratch all the way going through. Maybe I'll go through an example in my head and make up some numbers and see what's happening. So I think that's my biggest takeaway. It's just, the point of that is just to kind of prove yourself that you know it, without needing resource material. And if you do need resource material, if you get stuck and you're thinking about it for too long and you're just not getting anywhere, read it again, watch a video on it, read different, take different angles on it, until you can get yourself to the point where it's really got to make sense. And close your eyes, make sure that you can go through it. That's my best advice for sure. Hello, pursuing a master's in data science and big data analytics. Any suggestion for you? I don't have any actual suggestions, but something, sure, I'll give some advice, just generic, I suppose. So if you're doing a master's in data science and big data analytics, it depends what you're trying to do. So actually, I can't really give advice unless I know, why you're doing what you're doing. I would assume it sounds like, maybe from the phrasing, maybe I could be wrong, but it sounds like from the phrasing that it's about getting a job in the field. And if it is, then, I would definitely try and spend your spare time, like, actually doing fun projects. Sometimes, depending on the research program or the graduate program, you might find yourself just a little too caught up in like all of the stuff that they want you to do, and all of the stuff that you think you should be doing. Um, Make sure that you find a lot of time just to keep doing the fundamentals, going over projects where you want to do this. This is the reason you're doing analytics and stuff and machine learning, because you're excited about it and you want to build a project. So make sure you find the time to do that, and just get what you need to get out of the degree, and make sure that you find a lot of time to do what you want to do. You have a good day as well. Do you have any hands-on projects for beginners to start from scratch? Yes, I have a full project playlist. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, come on over, and I have lots of those. Yeah. Okay, I believe I am probably going to drop off at this point, and yeah, my throat's a little sore from talking, so I don't want to do that for much longer. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink actually. Yes, good night. Gonna take a competition in computer vision track. I have no prior experience in working with data or machine learning. Can I learn computer vision in 3 months? No idea. Up to you. Learn as quickly as you can, if that's what you need to. Actually, I recommend learning as slow and gently as you can. Um, but just don't sweat it too much. Okay. Um, awesome. Glad to hear it. Best book for deep learning. Um, there's a book called the Deep Learning Book. If you want to learn about deep learning, it's tricky, but that's a really good one. Uh, Still, Introduction to Statistical Learning. I believe at the end they added in deep learning stuff. Um, okay, I'm gonna go. All right, have a good day. Actually, probably for most of you, it's have a good night. Thank you. You're very welcome. Yeah. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.